Corlag as a ceachtaí ar carlach agus ceachtaí. Tá áthas orm an deis á leir leis an teach module meascán bhuisid fé dó don 1 bhilliún céadnócha a 7 milliún do Marain agus leirgus a chóirt ar reinstin na barta chun taú le teachta níor agus fás na nárnacha a bhfuil mé freigrach as tú. Individually and cumulatively, these sectors are an integral part of the fabric of our society, most particularly in rural and regional areas where they support economic activity, physical and societal well-being. This was never more evident than during the pandemic. As we rebuild these vital sectors, we must not lose sight of the valuable contribution they make to people's everyday lives and livelihoods all across Ireland and enable them to contribute to the resurgence of a vibrant and sustainable economy. Budget 2022 has been informed by ongoing engagement with the sectors and communities which come under the remit of my department. And that engagement will continue as we implement policies and programmes to support regrowth and development. Total funding for the sectors supported by my department is as follows. €288.5 million for tourism services, representing an increase of €67.6 million. This increased allocation will help address immediate survival issues while also enabling further resilience and recovery as we reopen to international tourism and transition to a more sustainable future. The increased funding will allow for €50 million in further business continuity support, an additional €27 million for investment in domestic marketing and festivals, particularly during the shoulder season, and to assist in attracting and retaining staff in our tourism and hospitality sectors, and increased capital funding, bringing to €36.5 million the monies available for tourism product development, including new and exciting attractions. An increase of €35 million in the Tourism Marketing Fund to help restore inbound tourism to Ireland and begin preparations on the programme for government commitment to the year of the invitation. This very significant response to the impact of the pandemic recognises the vital contribution of tourism to our overall economy and jobs. Whilst our primary focus to date has been on survival, we now have an opportunity to reimagine our tourism sector in the wake of the pandemic, with a particular emphasis on mainstreaming the principle of sustainability from an environmental, social and economic perspective. Total funding for the arts and culture amounts to €346.5 million. Budget 2022 represents a recognition by government that bold steps are necessary for our much treasured arts, events and cultural community to emerge from the pandemic stronger than ever before. I believe the extensive package of supports proposed under Budget 2022 will allow for this recovery. I am particularly pleased to be announcing €25 million in funding for the pilot of the new Basic Income Guarantee Scheme for artists and arts workers. This scheme will bring new life and support to the artists and those working in the arts and cultural sector after a profoundly difficult 18 months. If there is one lesson to be learned from COVID, it is how the arts and culture community were taken for granted up until then. The Basic Income Scheme is a signal from government to this invaluable sector that they are treasured, appreciated and will never be taken for granted again. I am also very pleased to maintain funding for the Arts Council for 2022 at the current record level of €130 million. This will empower the Arts Council to help artists, art workers and arts flourish again in Ireland. €25 million has been provided for live entertainment, building on the diverse suite of initiatives introduced for the sector this year in response to the pandemic. The audiovisual industry continues to be one of the success stories of the past 18 months, with internationally successful productions such as animated feature film Wolfwalkers and TV drama Normal People. I am pleased to increase Screen Ireland's funding by a further €6.7 million to €36.7 million in 2022 to maintain and grow its output. The extension of Section 481 relief for the gaming sector, as well as an increased funding of €4.2 million for TG Cahir, will also contribute to the ongoing growth of this vibrant sector. Additional funding of €5 million has been allocated to our national cultural institutions to facilitate increased access to their extraordinary collections and enhanced audience engagement, which they developed during the pandemic. €4 million in funding has been provided to help deliver a suite of initiatives proposed by the Nighttime Economy Task Force. And finally, €5 million has been allocated to support the 2022 commemorative programme, marking the significant centenaries arising in 2022. Budget 2022 recognises the value that arts, culture and entertainment brings to people living in Ireland and abroad, and to the important role that artists play in our society, and this was particularly evident during the pandemic. It signals a new dawn for the sector, building on existing COVID supports. Funding for the media and broadcasting sector will also be increased in 2022 and this funding includes funding of £5.5 million for the establishment of a new regulator, the Media Commission, which will support the provision of high-quality public service broadcasting and oversee effective regulation of online safety. I'm conscious that my time is running out and Minister Chambers needs to speak, so just to say our clear objective is to support a strong and sustainable tourism industry, a vibrant arts and culture sector, a dynamic sports and media sector and a landscape in which our first language can continue to grow and flourish.